This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, okay. See, this data modeling, first of all, this data modeling can be done in three different phases. Do you remember? This data modeling can be in three different phases. The first phase of data modeling is conceptual data model. The first phase of data modeling is conceptual data model. And the second phase of data modeling is logical data model. Did you heard these terms by any chance? Logical data model.
No.
And the third one is actual or physical data model. Physical data model. Because why I'm telling you this concept, first of all, we need to understand the importance of data model. It is not simply creating a table and adding information to the table. It is not the actual work what we are doing here. Okay, that for understanding how the tables will work, how the records will be moving from one table to another table, that we discussed there in the first session, right or wrong? But actually, what is the purpose of designing the data? Because if you remember on that the previous Venkat sir session, before session, we discussed, even Ravi asked a question, why we are doing this data modeling? Okay, without a screen mockups, before screen mockups only, why can't we design the DB, and then why can't we map it to the mockups? He asked a question. Hope you remember that on the day.
Correct.
I told
Correct.
them, without
Yes.
screen mockups, if you are identifying databases, that will be come under top-down approach. I told one approach, top-down approach, identifying the overall tables and mapping those table entities to the screen mockups. That is top-down approach. Okay, and the second level is bottom-up approach, where identifying entities based on the screen mockups. Okay, and based on the entities, mapping to the tables is the bottom-up approach. Okay, and based on the functional knowledge, we can identify the entities, and then these entities will map it to the tables. Accordingly, we will design the DB model. This is what I said. So the second model we are following there. At that moment I told you, right? You remember? And generally, why we are doing this conceptual data model, you know, being a functional expertise people, okay, you are the right person to identify what information that you are storing in the system. Guys, am I clear? Facing any challenges?
The sentence.
Yeah, Dilip.
Being a functional expertise, okay, we should know what sort of information that you're storing in the system, okay, and what sort of information that you require to analyze the reports, or to analyze the system whether it is working properly or not, and to plan your upcoming years business. Okay, you need some reports. Okay, to get those reports, you need to have some information in the system. To have some information in the system, you need to enter that information in the system, right or wrong? Am I clear?
Yes.
First of all, if you are expecting some reports from the system, where you should plan your upcoming year business or upcoming quarter business plans, to have some reports from the system is mandatory for us, right or wrong? Do you accept that?
Correct. Correct. Yes.
Until and unless without getting reports from the system, you may not plan your business. And if you are not getting getting the reports, ultimately your system is going to be failure if the system is not giving you proper reports, proper analysis, right or wrong? So to get the reports from the system, first of all, system needs to have that information, right or wrong?
Yes.
And to have that information in the system, first of all, being an end user should enter that information in the system, which is ultimate important thing, right or wrong? If the end users are going to enter some information in the system, store some information in the system, then the system will store it as and when you require the report. System will process the information which is there in the DBs, and then it will give you a report, analytical report. Based on that, you can plan your upcoming business plans, right or wrong?
Yes. Yes.
So being a functional expertise, you know what information is being stored, okay, with using your functionalities, because you're all aware, you're aware of all the functionalities performed by the end users using use cases, and even how the system is behaving, you know, according to the activities, and each screen mockups you are aware. So each screen mockup, what information you are processing, what information you are storing, what information you are receiving from the system, you know better than anyone else, right or wrong?
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So that we call it as functional expertise. Those so based on the functional expertise, if you define, okay, high level data models, simply tables, high level tables. Okay, table is nothing but, here simply we are identifying table entities. For example, patient details is a table. I'm taking patient details is a table, for example. Okay, in this table, okay, in this table where I need to have a patient ID, okay, because all these things that you are seeing and you are storing in the system now, while you are registering a patient, you are capturing some details, right or wrong? So there you are storing that
Correct.
information there in the system, so you know what information that you are capturing from the patient, right? That's the reason
Yes.
patient
Yes.
ID, patient,
Patient name.
possibly first name. Okay, so right away you are capturing names only.
Yeah, last name. Mention it as the last name is a mandatory in like most of the cases. Take it as the last name.
Okay, first name and
Last name.
patient last name and patient gender you are capturing, right?
Yes.
Gender, patient mobile number,
phone number, yeah.
mobile, right? And
Address.
even email ID you are capturing, but it is optional anyways. Okay,
Yeah.
you don't need to worry either it is mandatory or optional. Okay, that will be designed by the DB architect. If it is mandatory, he'll keep some not null or something. Okay, you should not bother about it. What information you are capturing, first of all, add it here. Okay, email, what else that you are capturing in the patient details?
Address.
Address, before address, age is important as per my understanding, right?
Yes, sir.
Age
Age.
and address. Anything else? Okay, for example, these are the details. Now, how you get these details? Because all these details you are capturing while you are registering a patient. You know what details you are capturing in the patient information, or patient information, what details should be required, that you know. These details already you are capturing in a screen, right or wrong? So
Correct.
each of the detail we call it as entity. Each of the detail we call it as entity here. Patient first name, patient last name, gender, mobile. These are all entities, right? So all this combination of entities, we are designing one table here.
These are provided by client.
Yes, ultimately, right? Ultimately, what information should be stored while you are getting the requirements you are getting. For example, for patient registration, what are the details you want to capture? You can ask him so that he'll provide you what information he is capturing. Okay, and you are not
Okay.
introducing a new system here altogether. Do remember, already the client is doing his business since many years, so he has some existing database models with him in terms of Excel sheets, or in terms of records, or in terms of something else, right or wrong?
Okay. Yeah.
Already he is capturing
So
and he is doing business since many years.
I have a question here. I have a
Please,
question
please,
here. You said this
please.
data model is existing from the beginning, right? Before we start up this use cases and everything. So it is existing in the system.
No. I'm talking about if it is manual system as well, the hospital is taking some details and storing that information in an Excel sheet, or in a at least form. They are maintaining some patient forms at least, right or wrong? So this
Correct.
information already they are capturing from the patient since many years. So now you have to refer those existing patient forms, inquiry forms, or the existing patient Excel sheets. Okay, what details that you are capturing, based on that you can identify what sort of entity should be captured on the screen, and you should display all the things in the screen accordingly. You need to identify the entities, right or wrong?
Okay. Yeah.
All of a sudden it is not being generated, this patient name or last name or first name, you need not to capture it, but client is insisting you, I want patient name, first name or last name, these details should be captured, so that later on I can identify the patient with the first name or last name. That is what possibly he told you. That's the reason you are maintaining all these details, right or wrong?
Okay. Yeah. So he
Karthik,
is
you
giving us
understand
minimum
this?
information about the patient.
Exactly. Even not only patient, even for staff, what details they're capturing. When the staff is going to join with us, we need to capture some details like emergency contact numbers, emergency email IDs, right? Blood groups or something like that. Okay, even those details are being captured and has been storing in the forms, in terms of forms or in terms of some Excel sheets possibly. Because why I'm telling forms or Excel sheets, because now we are considering the existing system is manually completely, right?
Okay.
The existing system is a
So
manual system. Already we decided that.
all into another format, and we are creating a new table for that.
Exactly. According to that existing information, we are trying to create a data model here, where that information should be stored
Okay.
in a table, right or wrong now?
Yes.
Now the existing hospital is storing in the format of inquiry forms, patient inquiry forms, that you may not continue the same. Okay, the existing inquiry form, you should create a table where you should store that information, so that the system will give you, as and when you require patient details, system will give you that information if you store it in a table.
Correct.
Am I clear? Ritika, you're getting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this conceptual data model always will tell you what sort of information to be stored and what sort of tables. Okay, possibly the tables are master, link, or transaction, whatever it might be. It will give you what sort of information to be stored in the tables. That's it. What sort of information or entities to be stored in the tables. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, based on the functional expertise, we can give this conceptual data model, and the logical data model will tell you each entity data types we need to give it. Identify each entity data types. Now I said the patient name. Do you remember? Do you have any idea what sort of the data types we are using in the backend? Any idea? Like integers.
So varchar, integers, varchar.
Exactly. Identifying those data types is nothing but logical data model. Okay. For example, for let's say patient ID. Here I'm taking patient ID. Patient ID will be only integer, as per my understanding.
Okay.
Integer, because it is only natural numbers. Okay, integers.
Yes.
And let's say patient first name,
Varchar.
Characters.
char, or simply we can write it as a string as well, string or char. Okay, no need to define what sort of how many characters that you are going to store. If you define it, that is well and good. Otherwise, at least still we can tell this sort of information we are going to store in this entity. That is what my point. In the first name, only string type of information that we are storing. Okay, that is what the logical data model will tell you. And next, now you tell me, patient last name.
String.
Again string.
Last name again.
String.
String or char.
Character and gender as well as a string.
Gender is generally this is not string. This is what we call it as. We have one a data type. A specific data type is there. Boolean, correct?
Boolean, right?
True
yes,
or
Boolean.
false? True or false?
True or false? It is a Boolean.
Yes.
Then why do we take Boolean for gender actually?
No, that's because you
types.
basically have a radio button for gender. Like, so you select either one of them,
only
male or
options are
female,
available.
and whatever you select would be true in the backend.
Correct.
Okay.
Student, why only Boolean? Because we are having only 2 or 3 options. Okay, here either of the 2 or 3 options you have to choose. That's the reason we are taking Boolean. It is not like n number of genders are there, right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then mobile number. Tell me.
Mobile number is an integer.
Integer, very good.
Integer or
Dilip, so what's the deal with the plus symbol? So you can't put it in integer, right?
Which one?
Plus
the plus symbol, plus 9 1, plus 1, and so on.
Then
so for plus 1,
yes, then you can take a string. If that is the case, if you want to capture even plus 1 as well, string.
Can be or integer. Same thing with the email ID. Same thing with the email.
So email ID, what is that?
It can be numbers and string as well. So it can be
email ID can be in some cases email ID can be of email type, right? Because HTML5 and others, they have email data type.
Email is a separate data type again. You have straight away we can keep it as email.
Yeah, in the latest versions of all languages,
even mobile has a separate data type now. Okay, if that is the case, mobile and email have separate data types, but still don't get into the latest ones. First of all, let us understand the concept. Mobile, why I kept int or string? Okay, integer is nothing but couple of people only will take the 10 digits, not the previous plus 9 1. All these things people will not take generally. Okay, that is again a different what we can say different entity altogether, where based on the country code. They call it as country code as a separate entity. Their country code, they will mention it is either it is 91 or 012 or 001 or something like that. Okay, so now we are taking just mobile number. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the reason integer, but still if you want to capture plus as well, I kept string. Do remember, string is nothing but it's a combination of alphanumeric and special characters. Alphanumeric and special characters. Okay, you said the email is integer. I don't say it is integer because it is a combination of integers and characters. Yes, I accepted that. but without at symbol, email will not be accepted, right or wrong?
Correct.
So if it is at symbol, that is a special character for me. So if it is a special character, then it is only string or character data type, no integer data type, right or wrong? Is that
Okay.
clear?
Yeah.
Right. Next, age.
Age is an
Integer.
integer.
Integer. Right. Address.
String.
String or char. Okay. So once you defined high level data models there with the conceptual data model, okay, then for each entity, what sort of data types can be mapped? What sort of data types can be mapped? If you identify those data types for each entities, then that will come under logical data model. That will come under logical data model. And if you see in this conceptual or logical data model, we are not creating any DBs. We are just giving this sort of information. We need to have it, and this information should be stored in so and so format. This is what we are giving, right? And the third model,
Okay.
actual or physical data model, will be done by the DB architects. DB architects or administrators. Okay, these people will create the DBs, okay, with the help of
Dilip.
yes, tell me. Conceptual.
So what's the deal with NoSQL databases where we don't have any tabular columns like Mongo or something? There we don't even have these data types and all, right? Because we store everything in documents and everything is not well structured.
I'm coming to that point. Okay, I'm coming to that point only. Okay.
Okay.
Logical data models. Right? Is that clear now? So this conceptual and logical data models will be done by the business analysts. Okay, will be done by the business analysts because you people are functional experts. And most of the cases, we should come up with conceptual data model. That is more than sufficient. Conceptual data model is more than sufficient. But if you have some idea what sort of data types it is going to be stored, even then you can come up with logical data model as well. But just now Karthik told even the latest DB models doesn't have any specific data types. Okay, at that moment even logical data model is optional. That's the reason I'm telling it is optional. Okay, but you should come up with conceptual data model, what sort of information you want on the system, right? So if you give this conceptual data model, this logical and physical data model will be done by the administrators or architects. But in few scenarios, being a business analyst, you can participate even in logical data model if it is relational databases where it is consisting only tables. Okay, and there we need to identify the data, what we can say data types as well. The latest DBs doesn't contain any data, like just now he told MongoDB, or even if you see hierarchical DB models, okay, their logical DB model is not required. Is that clear now? Karthik, your point is addressed. Okay, but conceptual data model is mandatory to give it, because being a functional expertise, you know what information is been storing in the system and what information you require to generate reports, right or wrong? So this is mandatory for us. Okay, and this is optional, and this is again mandatory by the DB architects and administrators. Those people are actually creating the databases by doing some normalization, denormalization. Those people will do it actually. Okay. You should not involve in this normalizations, all these things. Is that clear now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the concept. This is the reason that we are identifying data models. You understood now the purpose of identifying DBs?
Yes, for like SQL language, by using SQL, they'll create a table now, sir. The database architect.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Not only you said SQL is a language or tool you are talking about. SQL server is a tool. SQL is a language.
SQL is a language.
Language. Okay, where we consist of DDL, DML, DRL,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
DCL. Possibly you heard somewhere. Okay.
Yes, sir. In the DB.
Exactly. Okay, in our graduations, if you are in computers background, possibly you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Okay.
Dilip, who's gonna select this final database? So should we go for Oracle or MySQL or Mongo, or
It depends on the architecture. It depends on the architecture. The solution architecture will give it to you, know, either it is MVC or Entire. Or for that architecture, which DB model is, which tool is more effective, those people will decide. You should not worry about it. being a business
Okay.
analyst, right? For example, and it depends on the technology that you are using. Let's say you are using MongoDB. Generally, MongoDB is being used in Java. Majority of the cases, when you are using Java, people are using MongoDB. But when you are using
It's
.NET,
more used with Node, right? It's more used with Node, right?
Node as
Mongo
well,
is
yes.
yeah, Node.
Yes. And if you see, if you are using .NET framework, people are using SQL Server, R2
Yeah, MySQL.
especially.
Yeah, true. Because both are
Okay,
from
and so
Microsoft.
exactly, both are from Microsoft. Okay, both are from Microsoft. It depends. It depends on the technology. It depends on the architecture. Okay, is it clear now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sharon, you are clear
only
here?
so MVC architecture or one tier or two tier will be decided by DB architect, no, sir?
Solution architect. Two tier or one tier is not there. Only two tier. The beginning architecture is two tier. Client server, then three tier. That is MVC. Now it is entire now. A couple of aviation projects and especially high secured projects will be developed in entire architecture.
Okay, that will be decided by solution architect.
Solution architects, yes, depends on the security measures. Those people will decide which architecture is being used, and entire is most expensive. No, entire is more expensive and it is more complicated because generally why they are using only in if you see this aviation projects are there, no, aviation projects, and especially if you see this navy forces or especially the security systems are there, no, or country security systems, there people are using entire architecture for those applications because it is highly sensitive confidential information they are dealing with. Okay, that's the reason they are using entire. Okay,
The normal IT organization will use either of MVC or two tier.
two tier, yes.
Okay.
Clear on this, guys? Have any doubts here?
No.
No.
Okay, now this is what the data model, and in this data model, this conceptual data model identification can be done in two ways. Identifying the DB models. DB models can be done in two ways. Already I told you, one is top down approach. Already we discussed about it, but still for your understanding I'm writing. Okay, top down approach, and the second one is bottom up approach. Bottom up approach. These approaches are very simple. Okay, this top down approach initially will identify the tables. Straight away we'll identify the tables and then map the table entities to the screen mockups. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Or functionalities. Here in the bottom approach it is different. Here bottom approach, designing the mockups. First we need to design the mockups or functionalities, right?
Okay.
And then based on the mockups or functionalities, we need to identify the entities in each mockup screen. Okay, and then mapping entities to the tables. Is that clear now?
Okay.
So mapping entities to table is something like we are doing here in the conceptual data model and logical data model also.
Both the things is comes under okay, by using either top down or bottom up approach, you are doing conceptual data model only.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but in the first approach, first of all, straight away we'll identify what are all the possible tables that we can use in HMS, like patient details, doctor details, and what we can say payments, different tables that we'll identify, and then we'll identify the entities, and those entities we are going to map it to the screen mockups. Okay, that is top-down approach. But the bottom-up approach, first of all, if we have a clarity on the functional requirements, that's the reason I mentioned designing mockups or functionalities or requirements, functional requirements, we can say. Based on the mockups or functional requirements, we'll identify the entities on each screen, and then those entities will map it to the tables. Is that clear now?
Okay.
I'll tell you how we are doing it. Don't worry. Okay. You understood the approaches first? That is what my question.
Yes, sir.
Sharan and Karthik.
Yeah, fine. Yes,
Right,
sir.
Dilip. Got it.
Okay. Now let me take a small screen here, which you developed. Okay. Okay. Already we have it on the desktop, right?
Doctor.
Anything we will take it. Guys, please listen carefully. This is very, very important. Tomorrow I want you to perform these things. Okay. Everyone is here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See here, for example, on this page, there are no such entities. These are all functionalities. Please make sure functionality is different, entities are different. Here, entities are nothing but which are being stored in the backend, which are being retrieved from the backend. These are all the functionalities I can say, right? These are all the features, okay, or the buttons, okay. So these are not entities again. Once you click on register, here you will get entities. What are the entities we can see here? Can you tell me?
First name, last name, gender,
First,
age, phone
last name,
number,
First name,
everything.
last name, right? These are entities now, okay.
Yeah.
And even this
The
department,
department.
okay, even department is also one sort of entity for us, right or wrong?
Even
Yes.
department is stored in the backend in the database, right?
Exactly, in the
Full
database.
stack.
Whatever the things that you are either storing or retrieving from the database or from the backend, simply you can consider as backend. Those things are nothing but entities here. Now, while identifying these entities, we may have three types of entities generally. Just a second.
So just one. Hello.
Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. Now I can hear.
Yes. While you are identifying entities, we may have three types of entities. The first one is page processing or loading entities. And the second one is mouse over entities. Page submission or storing entities. Is that clear? These three types of entities we may come across here. If you see the page processing entities is nothing but page processing or loading entities are nothing but when you are loading the page, what are all the entities that you are able to see? These are all not page loading entities because the information is not here, right or wrong? But if you see
Okay.
the drop down, some information is there already. Backend, it consisting of multiple departments. All the departments are being visible here, right or wrong?
Yeah.
This is a mouse over entity. Generally, when we are taking mouse on that particular item, if it is displaying some information, this is comes under mouse over entities. And loading entities are nothing but possibly we have appointments. There we have yes. See here, when I'm clicking on submit, the doctor information and the experience and the timings. These are all page. What is this? These are all page loading entities. While you are page processing, all the information is being visible here, right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, when you are loading the page, the information is visible. That we call it as page loading or processing entities. And the third one, page submission. Once you enter first name, once you enter last name, once you click mail, age, phone number, something, once you click on suggest what we say register, these are all storing in the backend, right or wrong? Those
Yeah.
nothing but page submission or storing entities. Is that clear? We may have
Okay.
three types of entities in each page, right or wrong?
Okay.
If you consider this page, can you tell me the entities here? Let me write it. Example. Are there any page loading entities here? Are there any page loading entities here?
No.
Page
No.
loading or page process entities? Nothing. There is no page loading entities here, right? So not
No.
applicable. Not applicable, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Mouse over entities?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It
The
is there.
department.
Drop down.
Correct. Mouse over entities are there. That is department name. department, name is mouse over entity, right or wrong? And next, any other mouse over entities here? See here on the page, any other mouse over entities? Only one drop down is available here. If you take this, here we have 3 different mouse over entities. Even calendar is also mouse over entities for us, right?
Yeah.
3 different entities are there here. Okay, but let us complete this page first. So here no other mouse over entities. Let us come back to the page submission entities. Page submission or storing entities. Tell me, what are all the page submission or entity submission or storing entities?
After register.
Right.
Like
So these are
after
all
filling
submission
the
entities
form.
only. Once you enter the first name, once you enter the last name, once you enter the all these are all you are submitting by clicking on the successful register, right or wrong?
Yes. Sir.
Right, all these entities you are submitting or storing in the backend by clicking on the submit button, right or wrong? So you need to write all these entities now. Tell me what are all the entities are available here?
First name,
First name, last
First
name,
name,
and gender,
last
Age.
name,
gender,
what is that?
Gender.
Gender, age,
and then
Phone
phone
number.
number,
phone
address.
number, mail ID, you missed here. Okay, fine, anyways. I don't want to create any complications now. Address.
So what?
Mail ID you missed here.
Yes.
Yes, address. Anything else?
Address. Yeah, that's it. And submit button.
Okay, once you clicked on submit, you are getting into the next page. So for this page, this is page processing entity, right or wrong?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but for not this page, this is
So that is page
example.
submission.
This is page process entities on the top of it. See, already while you are loading the page only, you are getting the patient ID, right or wrong? Patient ID is an entity for us.
So after submission only we are getting those.
Correct. Once you are submitting, all these are all storing in the backend. And the second page, again for this page, you need to write down all the entities, right?
Okay.
So basically, are
let
we
me
doing it for each and every page, Dilip, in our
every
application?
page. Exactly. That is what I'm coming to.
Yeah,
Examples.
and basically we're also doing it to the inner pages, if I'm not wrong, because the
Correct.
first
See
submission page
here,
is the inner
this
page.
is patient registration. Patient registration page, right?
Yes.
Registration page. For this page, these are the entities. Okay, and the second page again, patient ID generation page. That is a different page altogether for me, right
Yes,
or wrong?
sir. Okay.
There again, I need to write these 3 entities. You
Okay.
understood?
Yes, sir.
And here, page loading entities are only one, that is patient ID, right? Patient ID. And there is no mouse over entities here.
No.
And even there is no storing entities as well, right or wrong? No submit entities. Understood now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sharan, you are there?
Yes. So each page typically starts with page process or loading entities.
Yes. Okay, when you are loading a page, okay, if you are able to see some entities, that will come under page process or loading entities. And if you have some mouse over entities like drop downs or something, then those entities will come under mouse over entities. And the third one is, if you are going to enter some information and clicking on submit, those entities will come under submission or storing entities. Is that clear?
Okay, Dilip.
Yes,
But
sir.
I want you to perform each and every page. I want you to identify the entities now. For example, if you have 100 pages, I want each page, okay, instead of number, I want the page on the top of it in a Word document. Under that, I want the entities. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Karthik, you are clear on this?
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay. Done?
Yes, sir.
Clear.
Right. Okay, don't be confused with page processing or loading entities. That's the reason I give you 2 examples here. Page processing or loading, when you are opening the page, some information should be displayed. those things comes under loading entities. As I told you, mouse over, mostly it is drop downs, okay, or menu items or something like that. If you have any mouse over entities, then only you can keep mouse over entities if you have. And submission is nothing but if you are storing some information. Yeah.
So
Ritika.
for general, we are selecting male or female. That will also come under this page submission only, no, sir?
Submission, yes, because you are storing this gender. This patient is this type of gender that you are mentioning, right? You are storing that information, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, each and every individual page is different. And see, in few scenarios, you are keeping some what we say this dynamic panels. For example, once I click
Yes.
here, the patient ID I'm going to display on the same page. Do remember, if I click on successful register, I can display the patient ID. So and so patient ID is successfully registered on the same page. If I display it, then
Pop-ups.
this patient ID will come here, process entities.
Okay.
Understood? If you are
Yes, yes.
using dynamic panel, this is default, it is loading, right? That's the reason I'm keeping as page loading entity. Don't be confused. If you are using only dynamic panel, then only the even that patient ID is also displayed on the same page, right or wrong?
Correct. Okay.
Okay, at that
Dilip,
moment
I
you
missed it. Can you repeat the dynamic panel stuff again? Like, how do you do it?
yes. Dynamic panel is nothing but, for example, if you applied any dynamic panel anywhere?
Yeah, I did pop-ups. Right?
Okay, possibly somewhere I saw that.
ID, sir, in patient ID.
Yes. See here, for example,
Directly click on submit, sir. Okay, maybe.
it is redirecting. Okay, I don't want redirect any dynamic
Yes,
panels
sir.
here. You people are
Yes,
not
sir.
using dynamic panel. I don't know
Yes,
why.
sir. Just go on doctors one, sir. Submit.
Doctor, yeah.
Yes, so here you can just remove the number.
Right. Karthik, you are there now?
Yeah.
See here the example which I've given here. We used some dynamic panels. Okay, where for error conditions or something like that. Okay, for example, now if I am not entering these two things, doctor ID or password, I'm getting invalid credentials on the same page. This is not an entity anyways. This is just a status message. If you have some patient ID or doctor ID or something here, that will be a page loading or processing entity only. If you are displaying in the next page, that will come under that page. You understood that what I'm trying to tell you?
Okay. All the display
But there are two
messages are
states,
under
right?
this.
So Dilip, but there will be two conditions, right? Initially, it will be blank and it will be displayed, right? If it's through a dynamic
That
panel.
is what. Again, this should not be an entity. Do remember? Okay, this invalid credentials is not an entity. It is just a status message. Entity is nothing but you are getting some information from the backend. It is not from the backend, right or wrong? These invalid credentials we are not getting from the backend. It is simply a status message. If you are entering wrong username and password, then it is been displaying that message. This is not the right example. Okay, for example, let me take the same scenario. Where is that? Yes, registration page. Here only let me take that example. Karthik, listen carefully. We kept a separate page for patient registration is successfully generated. Patient ID is successfully generated. For that, we kept a separate page. That's the reason I'm asking you to take this page and identify these entities on this page, right or wrong? Now,
This
let
is
me
page
take that exactly the same successful registration message here with using a dynamic panel. Once I clicked on register, I want to display that message here only on the same page.
Okay.
Okay, where we have one entity there, that is patient ID, right? Then the patient ID will be the page processing entity only, not page what we say
Page loading
submission
entity.
Okay, this is
Submission.
page loading entity only, because you are displaying that information in the same page, right or wrong? In the same page you are displaying that information, so it will come under page process entities
So
only.
the invalid status is comes under page loading.
Yes,
All error
but
condition.
invalid status, that is a message. Do remember, that is not an entity.
Yes. Yes.
Status messages will not be considered as entities. Entities is nothing but from the back end. If you are getting some information, kind of patient IDs or what we say booking IDs or prescription IDs, that information that we are storing in the back end and we are getting it. This
Dilip,
invalid
you just
credentials.
Dilip, you just told us like if you get something on the page from the backend on submission, it falls
Correct.
under the entity. So whatever
Entity,
pop-up,
correct.
for example, if I submit and if it's showing me a pop-up on my face, then what's going to happen?
Pop-up again, it's a new page for me.
So pop-up, so you will take pop-up in the post.
Pop-up is again a new page. Either pop-up or a new page, both are new pages, and again for that page you need to write down the entities, right?
Okay.
Am I clear?
Even if okay, so pop-up is
Either it's a
considered a new
pop-up or a
page.
new window, again you need to write entities for those pages. Am I
Sir,
clear?
if
And how
I'm
do I name
selecting,
it? Because pop-ups, they don't have any name, right? Because these pages, whatever we build here, having names.
This conference will now be recorded.
Right. Okay, now you understood, right? Now initially we'll take each page. First of all, I want you to complete all the screen mockups. That is the first activity. And once it
Okay.
is done, then start identifying the entities, okay, with using these two examples. And once you identify the entities, then I'll give you one more task. The complete day you need to work on it tomorrow, right?
Okay.
The next task is, already you are aware, mapping entities to the tables. Okay, here I'll tell you how to map entities to the tables. Okay, here in the DB model, I'm going to create one Excel sheet now. Okay, here I'll create an Excel sheet. Is that clear? Now here I'm creating master, link. The third one, what is the third one? Already it is gone, I guess, right?
Transaction.
Right. Okay, we have three types of tables in the DB modeling. Okay, one is master, one is link, one is transaction. Okay, what is the difference between master or transaction or
Master is a page where you can pull the information from. It's like a main page where you have all the entities and these things.
Then what about link tables?
Link tables.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. We are creating this thing, right? Hang on, I'll tell you. We are storing entities and we are creating a separate table for that. For conceptual data model. That is a link
Right.
table.
No. In the conceptual data model, we have these three types of tables, either master or link or transaction. These three are comes under conceptual data model only. Okay, this conceptual data model will give you three different types of tables. Either it might be master or link or transaction, either of the tables. Here my question is, what is the difference between master or link or transaction? Do you have any idea? Already we discussed, I guess, as per my understanding.
No idea.
No,
Karthik?
Dilip, me too. No idea, Dilip.
Now Ritika will tell us if that is the case.
no, sir.
Already we discussed, no? Fine, anyways, let me give you a brief idea about, okay, please don't be confused with these three are okay, three different tables. Okay, master tables that we are not using that frequently. For example, patient details you are storing, no? That is a master table. Okay, you are not using that patient details frequently. But when it comes to a patient visits, he may visit multiple times to the hospital. Okay, all patient visits will be captured in the transaction table. Am I clear?
Okay.
Okay, patient details will be stored there in the master table, where very rare we are going to use that particular table for generating reports. Very rare we are using the tables. Okay, those things will not is nothing but master tables. And transaction tables on daily routine. On daily routine, you are going to capture some transactions of the patient, either visits or the pharmacy bills or something else. Okay, all these are all which you are daily using, which you are daily updating. That is nothing but a transaction table. This is very rarely we are using it, rarely using tables or master tables, and very frequently are using transaction tables. As I told you, all the patient visits will be captured somewhere in a table. That table we call it as transaction table. Am I clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Very frequently, on daily basis. Frequently is nothing but on daily basis. Very frequently or daily basis, we are updating or using, instead of updating, we are using these tables. Using these tables, that we call it as transaction tables. And the link tables, when there are some inceptions. What do you mean by inception?
Beginning.
Beginning, yes. Inception is nothing but beginning. For example, now our hospital is having 10 departments. That is what the case scenario we begin with, right? Is that clear? Okay, now I'm going to launch one more department. I'm going to add one more department. Adding one more department should be captured in a table somewhere, right or wrong? Who added that? At what time he added? Okay, and from which IP he added? Those things should be captured in a table, right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, so all the inceptions are happening in the DB. Inceptions or even modifications. Inceptions or modifications, okay, are happening in the DB. Will capture in link tables. Understood or no?
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay, for example, now I took patient details as a master table. Now a patient came to a receptionist and is asking, I want to change my mobile number. Okay, you want to change the mobile number to the master table. You can ask me, that is been updated in the master table. Yes, once you had a change, then that is updated in the master table. But who changed that particular mobile number should be recorded somewhere in the table, right or wrong? Some other table. Am I clear on this?
Yeah.
Who changed that mobile number, on what request he changed that mobile number, should be stored in the link tables.
Okay.
Is that clear, guys?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Because it's not simply updating that information. Later on, patient may file a case without my information. This guy changed my mobile number and email ID, for example. At that moment, using this link tables, you can see when the patient ID is updated to the master table. Okay, with which receptionist or which person is updated his mobile number, what time he updated, what day he updated. Okay, these details, where we will get it? From the link tables. Is that clear now?
Okay.
Yes.
And the master table, ultimately it is going to be effective, but to affect the master tables, you need to capture a record how this master table is been modifying, when it has been modifying, when it has been updated. You need to capture in the link tables. Even in the similar way, department, I told you the new department is going to be added. Once you added the department, again that will come under department's master table, right?
Okay.
That will come under department master table only. But who added the department, when he added it, what is the date, what is the time he added, okay, why he added, possibly the reason, description of it, that will be captured in the link tables. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Karthik,
Yeah, Dilip.
is that clear? That is link tables. And these link tables, we are not using that frequent or not that rare. Is that clear?
Okay.
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay.
It is not mandatory to use these link tables. Very rare. It is not that mandatory to use it very frequently. If frequently we are getting updates from the patients to modify mobile numbers or something, you have to use that link tables, right, to store that information. And even if you are not getting a request from anyone, you need not update that in the link tables. Am I clear on this? So that's the reason
Okay.
I said it is not that frequent, not that rare.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Okay.
But transaction tables are nothing but every transaction. I'll mention few of the examples here for your understanding. Master tables, which we can't frequently use, that is patient details. All patient details are always master tables. And even staff details, right, should be stored somewhere. Staff details should be stored somewhere. And even department details should be stored somewhere. Okay. And even, can you tell me other information, other master tables, if you remember any concerning this OB billing? Can you tell me anything?
Doc.
Payment modes. Okay, what sort of payment modes are available in the hospital? That is a master table, right?
Okay.
Am I
Documents
clear?
details.
That will come under staff details only,
Okay.
right? Okay, once you start getting into the entities, then you'll understand, don't worry. Okay, these are the, what we can say, master tables. And even login details. We forgot that even login details are also come under master table only, right? Login details, right or wrong? Username,
Okay. Yeah.
usernames and password. The login details are mandatory
But
to
we are
access the system. Yeah,
but we are
Ritika,
frequently
it is a feature. I'm sorry.
no sir, we are frequently using the login details, no sir. So everyone is going to, if anything is if you want to do transaction or something, so login is something we are using very frequently, no sir.
Yeah, Ritika, I'm sorry. What is your point? Login
Hello.
details, you are frequently using it. Okay,
Yes sir.
that will come under login. Employee login log sheet. Employee login log sheets. That is transaction table. Is that clear?
Okay.
You
Okay.
are just using your multiple times you are logging in. Yes, that is a transaction table. That is comes under log sheet. How many times you are logging in, how many times you are logging out. But you are simply using the login details. That is a master table. You should not edit frequently, right or wrong? You should not edit that username, password, those
Okay.
things frequently, right or wrong?
Okay.
Okay, this login detail should be there in the master table, but how many times you logged in, that will come under transaction table. Correct point.
Okay. Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes
Okay.
sir.
Or simply log sheet, instead of log sheet, let me write it under login sessions. That is a more effective session. Sorry, a most effective keyword. Sessions. We are keeping the session timeouts. Possibly you are aware of it. Okay,
Yes sir.
at what time to what time that you are
Yes.
logged into the system. Okay, those things are comes under sessions. So employee login sessions. Okay, comes under transaction table. Correct. Is that clear now?
Yes sir.
Okay.
Here example, patient details updations. All updations of patient details will capture here. Who updated, when he updated, what time he updated, everything should be captured here. Okay, in the similar way, staff updation, staff details updation. Okay, this is again one more table. Hope you understood. Okay, and in the similar way, department creation, right? Payment mode creation. Payment mode creation. These are all three again different tables altogether, because when we are going to introduce a new payment mode, that under link tables, once you created, that will be stored in the payment modes.
Okay.
Guys, you people are getting, don't
Yes.
be
Yes.
confused. There is a slight difference between master tables and link tables. Link tables will help you to land or to store some information in the master tables. Do remember,
Okay.
link tables are the mediators. If you want to affect, or if you want to change, or if you want to add some information to the master tables, link tables will give you the platform to add that information. Okay, but who added, when he added, that information should be stored in a table. For that reason, we are using link tables. Is that clear now?
Okay.
Yes sir.
Karthik, you're clear?
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay, payment transactions. This is again transaction table, right? Every day you are collecting multiple payments, right or wrong?
Correct.
Yes sir.
Okay, and even patient visits, appointments, appointment bookings, these are all comes under transaction tables. Is that clear? Appointments daily you are booking, even patient visits daily you are updating how many times patient is visited, right or wrong? And even daily you are collecting payments. That's the reason payment transactions as well I took. And even in the similar way, employee login session. Is that clear?
Yeah, Dilip.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now I want you to map these entities to the tables and identify whether the table is master or link or transaction, and create the tables here. Now, with this first two examples, I can create a patient details table, right? Only one table I got it. That is patient details. So the patient details will be consisting of what entities? Can you tell me now?
Patient name, first name,
First, patient ID, right?
ID, yeah. First name,
Patient ID is also been captured in the same table. We can capture this. Okay, patient ID, patient. Okay,
first.
please use what are all the information on the screen. The same thing. Try to use it again. Don't create any mess here. Here we used only first name, not patient first name, right? So first name
Yeah.
I'm writing. First name, last name. Guys, you are observing I'm using underscores here. Okay,
Yes,
generally
yes.
when you are
Yes.
generally you should not give any spaces here. Do remember, when you are creating DB
Yes.
tables, when you are getting into the coding, actual coding part, you should not use any spaces. Spaces will not be considered there. That's the reason I'm using underscores. Okay,
Yes.
last name, first name, gender, right? Gender and
Age.
age, phone, address, right? This is my first table. Guys, you are clear?
Yes.
And accordingly, even I can keep one transaction table as well. Just now I told you patient details updation, patient details. So I'm sorry, this is not the transaction table. This is a link table, right? Patient details updation. Can you tell me this patient details updation, what sort of information you need to contain?
Patient phone number, email ID.
Patient, first of all, again, patient ID should be mapped, which is very important thing. And here the important aspect is we need to capture staff ID, right or wrong? Who did this modification,
Yes.
right or wrong?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Who did this modification? Where, when he did, when, what date he modified this information? Modified
And
date.
why?
Let me
What sort
consider
of
as modified.
information he has modified?
Exactly, modified date,
And then why a
modified
reason.
time. Exactly, modified time as well, and
What sort of data he has
modified field or entity. Modified field I'm writing. Which field he modified? Either he modified some what we can say phone number or something. Just now Sharan said, right? Modified field, and then the description of it. Why he modified?
Yes.
Is that clear?
Okay.
Yes.
Now you understood how to map the tables.
Yes.
So
Okay, now
are all these tables linked to each other? Like are the actual tables like patient details, those tables are linked to these through
very
primary
good
ID
question,
or
but I
something?
don't want to answer this question now. Once we are getting into the reporting tables, I'll answer this question. Okay, yes, all these tables are interlinked, to be fair, 100%. Okay, but how it is been interlinked, okay, that I'll tell you at the time of reporting tables. Because why I'm not telling you now, please, sorry for denying your request, Karthik. Okay, I don't want you
Okay
guys to
then.
confuse. Right?
But I think it should be through some primary and
Yes,
foreign
through
key.
primaries, foreign keys. Okay, it is required.
Okay.
As of now, why I'm not telling you, again, you people get confused. What is the primary key here? What is the foreign key here?
Foreign
Again,
key,
okay,
secondary key.
composite keys, super keys. I don't want to get into that. Okay, we are not doing database administrator course, right? So that's the reason I'm not giving you that information now. Please don't mind. Okay, I'll tell you how it has been linked. Okay, don't worry. Is that clear now? Sharan and
Yeah.
Karthik.
Yes, Dilip. Yes,
Yeah,
Dilip.
Dilip.
Now my expectation, already I told you my expectation is, already I mentioned here. Okay, first of all, we are working with the bottom up approach. In the bottom up approach, what we need to do first, identifying entities,
Okay.
tasks to do. Okay, first identifying entities in each markup screen. What sort of entities we need to identify? Page processing or loading, mouse over, and page submission entities. Okay, and for every page I want these 3 entities as well. If something is not applicable, write down not applicable. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay,
This
then
one,
once you write,
you require that in a Word documentation, this thing?
yes, in a Word documentation. Already I told you know how to convert this Agile, how to convert this Azure file into a Word document. Already I shown you, right?
Yes.
Remember?
Just remember.
Karthik, you?
Yeah.
Okay, here we have an option here. See, generate a Word document. Okay, so based on the Word document, you can get all the screen markups in a Word document. There, under each screen markup, I want these 3 entities like this. Okay, and once you identified the markups, okay, open this Excel sheet here. Okay,
So,
and
sir,
yes,
hello.
yes. Tell me.
So can you repeat one second, sir? Just 40 seconds back, what you have said.
Yeah, I'm repeating. I'm giving a repetition. Like I'm just concluding the meeting. Okay, initially you need to identify the what we can say entities in each markup screen, either it is page processing or mouse over or page submission. Okay, but for each and every screen I want these 3 different entities. If something is
Okay.
not applicable, write down not applicable. That is what my
Okay.
point. Please
Okay,
don't
sir.
leave it blank. Okay,
Okay, sir.
is that clear? And then
Yes.
once you started identifying these entities, okay, from that particular page what sort of tables are possible, try to write down here. Okay, either it is master or link or transaction. Otherwise, if you are not able to divide, what we can say segregate it as master or link or transaction, no need to worry. First of all, add all the tables in master tables only. Okay, in our discussion we will segregate it, either it is a master or link or transaction. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay, if you are unable to do that, I'm telling you, if you are able to do that, try to do it. We'll save time. Okay, clear?
Yes, then.
Yes.
Any questions here?
Not clear about the later part.